Sawadee krab. I'm Guy Winch. I'm a psychologist and I'm a writer. And today I will be answering questions curated by Tyra Tuss. Question from May. How do you comfort yourself when you feel disappointed or sad after being rejected? Well, it is very important to comfort yourself after a rejection because you are feeling pain. One way to do that is you have to remind yourself of all your good qualities, because our natural tendency after we get rejected is to think of all our bad qualities. That's not good. So you should actually remind yourself of all your good qualities, everything that's really good about you, and that will help comfort you. Question from Ball. Is it weird that I feel lonely, but I also want to be alone? No, it's not strange at all, because sometimes people want to feel by themselves and be by themselves, and that's fine. But when you're feeling lonely, that's not okay, because loneliness is actually quite dangerous for us, especially if it goes on for too long. So when you want to be alone, feel free to be alone. But if you're feeling lonely, you need to do something about that and feel more connected to the people around you. Question from New. How do I accept losing my loved ones, whether they are dead or still alive? Loss is always painful, and you feel sad when you experience loss, either because people are dead or because they're no longer in your life. So you should accept that feeling because it's natural to feel sad. But it's also important that you don't get stuck in sadness. When you lose someone in your life, you need to replace that person, because we need to have people around us. So if you lose someone important, make efforts to try and get closer to someone new. Question from Somchai. Is it possible to process guilt without punishing ourselves? Yes, it's possible. It's a little bit difficult because we have a tendency to want to punish ourselves when we're guilty. But that's not a good thing to do, because guilt is really important. It's telling us to repair something with the person who we might have offended. So instead of just punishing yourself, actually focus on the other person and see if you can apologize, see if you can make things better with them, and then the guilt will go away and you won't need to punish yourself. Question from Orapin. How to stop overthinking? That is a little bit difficult because it depends on what kind of overthinking you're doing. Overthinking usually means not useful thinking. You're thinking about the same thing over and over without finding solutions, without getting an insight, without figuring out what it is you should do. So overthinking is something we have to catch, and then we have to correct it. And the way you correct it is you ask yourself, what is troubling me and what should I do about it? The minute you're focused on solutions, you'll stop overthinking. Question from Tim. I can never overcome my own failures. What should I do? Well, Tim, of course you can overcome your own failures, because the first thing you need to do is learn from them. Once you can figure out what you can do differently next time to avoid the failure, or what the lessons are that you can learn from the failure, you can take confidence from the failure rather than lose confidence from the failure, because you've figured out something important. And then you need to go out and try again with that new information and knowledge, and you're much more likely to be successful. Question from Berm. Why is it important to love and respect ourselves before loving others? Because if you don't love and respect yourself, you will look to the other person to give you love and respect instead, which is fine, but they can't fix you. They can't make you love yourself. That only you can do. And so if you want to be able to have a good relationship where you are there for the other person, you have to love yourself enough so that you don't need the other person to keep lifting you up, because you are lifting yourself up, and that is a better relationship. Self-esteem is something that is in our control. People think my self-esteem is what it is. Your self-esteem is what you make it. And so if your self-esteem is low, you need to really remind yourself of all the qualities you have, of all the skills you have, and you need to be very, very clear about the things that are unique about you, that make you, you. You can ask yourself, what do people love about me? The people who I know love me, and you can even ask them if you need to be reminded. But your self-esteem is something that you can bring up by saying to yourself, I am a good enough person. I am enough. I am worthy. I am just as worthy as everyone else. Question from Tyra Plus. Some people do not want to talk about their mental illnesses because they may face stigma and discrimination. What is your advice for people going through this dilemma? It is true that we have stigma and discrimination when people are mentally ill. But the funny thing is, we also have it when people feel lonely, or sad, or depressed, or anxious. And do you know what? Every single one of us has moments where we feel lonely, or sad, or depressed, or anxious. And so the best thing you can do is, rather than feel ashamed of having the most natural feelings in the world that everybody has, you can talk about it and say, I'm feeling sad today, and there's nothing wrong with that because you can't be happy all the time. The more people can talk about how they feel when they're feeling bad, the more people can share when they're not feeling great about themselves or not feeling great in the world, the less stigma and discrimination there will be. And if somebody looks at you and says, oh, you're a sad person, you say, not a sad person. I'm having a sad moment, and you have sad moments too. So don't judge me. It is natural to have these feelings, and there is nothing shameful about them. My new book is about people who have a broken heart, romantically, or people who've lost a pet. Not everyone has pets, everyone has a heart. And most people, at some point in their life, will have their heart broken. So hopefully your heart is not broken. But if it is, this book will really, really help you heal, and heal more quickly. And if your heart isn't broken, I'm pretty sure you know someone whose heart is broken. And most people don't know that there are things you can do to heal. And so share this book with people. It is like a Band-Aid for the heart. It will help you heal and come back stronger, so you can go out and find love, or so you can go out and get another pet to replace the one that you've lost. So I think the book truly is for everyone.